So words really matter to me.
The English literature prime minister has some definitions he'd like to go over. Disinformation and misinformation, because he loves definition of words and making them up too. Welcome to Canada Wide. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And let's have a listen to Trudeau. Have a look how his definitions, what he defines what words are. Let's have a listen.
So how do you decide what's misinformation and when to use this word, since the word can encompass different ideas amongst Canadians? Thank you.
Unlike all of you in this room, or most of you in this room, I never studied political science. I studied English literature. So words really matter to me. And you may call me old-fashioned, but I tend to defer to the actual definitions of words when I use them.
Change, because maternal love is the love that's going to change the future of mankind. So we'd like you to look
we would like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind, because it's more inclusive.
There we go, exactly.
Loser.
And misinformation and disinformation, which you used a little interchangeably, are actually very different things. Disinformation is when things that are false, things that are untrue, are spread by people who don't know any better. Misinformation is a deliberate choice to spread and share falsehoods for a particular purpose, whether it's a personal purpose or a political purpose or a creating chaos purpose. Now, what can start as misinformation can quickly end up being amplified as disinformation.
So the genius mixed up the definition of them too, and I understand too. I don't even know what separation is of them, but so he got it wrong, and he thinks it's important, and he is a literature major, and he knows which words to use and how to charm people. He's very good at it. And the point I want to make with this is it disinformation or misinformation when he says 8 out of 10 families are better off with the carbon tax. Let's have a listen to his own words here. Does he know it's false and he says it, or he is just ignorant and won't even look into the numbers? And I wish some reporter would go up there and say, hey, look, here's the 25-page report. I'll hand it to you. Show me where it says 8 out of 10 families do better, because I can't see it in there. And I left some QR codes for people to look it up themselves. It's not in the document, and he keeps referencing to it. Let's have a listen to his 8 out of 10 families are better off and see, what is it, disinformation or misinformation? Let's have a listen.
A family of 4 in Nova Scotia gets about $824 back in the year for the price on pollution. The Canadian carbon rebate delivers more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 Canadians right across the country. The leader of the opposition wants to take away those Canada carbon rebate checks from Canadian families, where 8 out of 10 families do better, even with the price on pollution. It's a way of fighting climate change, of building a safer, more prosperous future, and putting more money back in the pockets of Canadians, something he wants to take away.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
The Prime Minister has finally done something helpful when it comes to math. He says that his rebate for Nova Scotians is $850. Well, the Parliamentary Budget Officer confirmed that the cost is $1,500 for the average Nova Scotia family. So he wants to take away $1,500 from the average Nova Scotia family in carbon taxes and give back only $850. Everybody knows that the carbon tax is just like him, not worth the cost. Will he allow a free vote?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, once again, the Leader of the Opposition wants to take away the Canada carbon rebate checks that land in Nova Scotians' mailboxes, but in the pockets of families right across the country where the price on...
So which is it, disinformation or misinformation? And I think what's going on really is that someone is telling him 8 out of 10 families. That's the narrative. And he just keeps repeating the same thing over and over. And when anyone asks a question, they're a racist or you're one of those ones on the right side, and it's only the conservatives that are the ones that are pushing it. It makes you feel like it's not fair or you're doing something wrong. But here's an article here from Catherine McKenna. She is the previous climate minister, if you would say. She did a couple of videos going to Asia, eating some animals too. I can't say much more about that. Anyway, this here, 2019, 8 out of 10 families have better off. How come 5 years ago she said this, and this is the same thing Trudeau is pumping now? And I got a funny feeling that there is some report that was done. So this is five years ago. So 6-7 years ago, a report was done, and they keep saying it, and because it's published in the website from the government, but there's no data to back it up behind it. And Trudeau keeps saying it, and if someone tells him he's wrong, he just keeps repeating this, and he has to say it over and over and over again. He can't show facts. And this is why I said earlier, why doesn't someone hand him a PDF and say, I'd like to give this to you. Tell me what page number you're talking about, because you are flat out lying. And the report, too, I've seen on the website, nothing is on it. It's just words and some numbers. There's no backup of it. And I think that's what really harms them, is showing facts. So anyways, let's watch a little bit more of Trudeau. And don't forget to like and subscribe. But let's watch a little bit more of Trudeau.
But the entire discourse has to ground itself in something, because you're absolutely right. Who decides what is misinformation and disinformation? Well, if someone looks outside and says it's a beautiful blue sky sunny day today, we would know that's wrong, because our experience here in Ottawa, our experience looking out the window tells us otherwise. But if someone says the earth is flat, you can see extensive YouTube pages devoted by people who've decided, and this is a recent phenomenon over the past decade or so, that the earth is flat, because their experience as they look out to the horizon is, boy, the earth sure looks flat. So it can't just be about perception. You look on the Weather Channel, oh, it's raining in Ottawa. Okay, so it's not a blue sky sunny day. We have to agree that we're going to agree with the Weather Channel on this, or with the scientists from Environment Canada who are saying that it is sunny today in Ottawa, or it is rainy here today in Ottawa. There has to be an acceptance that there are experts out there that create a basis of fact that was built up on in generations to tell us that, water is wet and it freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, and there are scientific realities that have been proven and accepted. And the challenge that we have now is that increasingly misinformation and disinformation is carrying people to believe things that are untrue. And vaccinations is a perfect example of it.
They're very good examples, actually, with the blue sky and the flat earthers. I got to admit, I know I don't like him much at all, actually, but these are good examples that he's using. So in his definition, it's the blue sky with the 8 out of 10. We all know it's not 8 out of 10 because there's not even a sky to go out and check. Like he is just telling us that that's what we should believe, and he's not showing the report. And like I said before, someone has to tell him what page number and call it out, and be a little bit better as a reporter to reference a document, to give the QR code. Don't just shoot your mouth off and say numbers like the 8 out of 10 without showing proper documentation. And we're in the age of technology and electronic information. Why, when the government opens their mouth, can't they link to a document that we can all see and share? And not just a government website, because I know sometimes Stephen Guilbeault, he pays this money, calls it the Green Energy Fund or the Green Amazing Growers Association or whatever the hell it is, and then the money goes to Europe and they make a report and it comes back shaming everyone in Canada, like with our own money. That's what it's like when he does these reports with Stephen Guilbeault, and he is so bonkers anyways, that guy. I talk about a guy that's upset about Saskatchewan not paying their carbon tax, and it's like a criminal offense. Like, this is the guy, your criminal offense, and it was twice. I keep forgetting he crawled up the BC Premier's office while the wife was at home and did some weird thing too. So he is no savior at all. Equivalent today would be throwing some tomato paste at the Mona Lisa. That's the kind of intellect level. And one day you can run billions of dollars and run a country into the ground. That's your guidance counselor telling you what you can do. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Best of goodbyes. Like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot. Thanks for watching. Best of goodbyes.